Okay, now for all of you wanting a better dating life and a better sex life, you want to stick with me through this because I'm going to be showing you how to win over a woman's heart. And I'm also going to be explaining the importance of winning over a woman's heart because this is a concept that's not talked about very much in any YouTube videos when it comes to red pill content. This isn't a topic that's talked about a whole lot in any manosphere or dating like content. And see, that's why a lot of times I don't even necessarily like to put myself in those categories because I'm a big believer that once you subscribe yourself to a certain ideology or you subscribe yourself to certain practices, the problem with it is that you become like everybody else. And I think a lot of the masculine purpose and creativity woven into each man that you have, like your God-given masculine creativity, gets stripped from you. And all of the things that make you unique start to diminish. That's a story for a different day. But regardless, we have to actually understand this, okay? The importance of understanding how to win over a woman's heart and why this is so important and why this is not talked about. For any of you who think even just saying those words, win over a woman's heart or make her fall in love with you, if you think that that's soft or you think that that's too mushy or anything like that, I can tell you this. You're going to be actually stifling your success when it comes to dating. Like, make no mistake, there is levels to this. And for somebody who's a brand new beginner, that might not be the angle that you need to hear right away. But for some of you who have had women experience, you need to actually understand this key concept, okay? I stress this because this is even important for those who would consider themselves like chads, or even those who subscribe to the typical red pill belief that if you're tall and if you're good looking, she'll just automatically sleep with you and automatically have sex with you. And what will happen is everything else goes out the window because of her heightened state of attraction. Okay, that could not be further from the truth. And I'm going to give you numerous examples of how, and I'm going to give you numerous examples why. I took this picture yesterday before I hit the river, okay? A lot of people would consider me even potentially like a textbook Chad to some degree. Like, I've spent over a decade in the gym. I've had six-pack abs for like the past 10 years. I'm built fairly well. I'm pretty strong, okay? I've done my fair share of pulling at bars and at house parties over the years too that have led to specific, even one-night stands. Here's what I can tell you, okay? The importance of winning over a woman's heart is so important because all of the small psychological and subconscious nuances that you have to have and that you have to carry yourself in the particular way as a man is vitally important depending on the context of how you meet the woman. I'm going to say that one more time. Let that sink in. The psychological nuances that go into your seduction and your frame, okay, that's dictated based off how you meet the woman is vitally important, okay? The older you get, what's going to happen is how you meet the woman is becoming drastically more important because what's going to happen as you get older is you don't have necessarily as many opportunities because people are working, people are in full-time careers. As a man, you're probably building your business as a, you're meeting, like, when you're young, it's oftentimes quick thrill, either like a bar or a house party, or everybody is getting together at one specific venue, and it's based off music, and it's based off quick emotion, and it's based off quick thrill, okay? If that's the environment you're in, yes, 100% being a textbook Chad can help, and you can probably get laid that night because of the context of how you met. However, if you take that exact same man, okay, and now you switch the context of how these two meet, okay, and let's say they met at a grocery store, or let's say they met on Instagram and then they went out for a true formal date, like they went out to go get ice cream or they went out to go get pizza or coffee, and they're getting to know each other, okay? This is an extremely important concept, even for guys who are good looking, even for guys who are considered chads, okay, and even those who in other situations have had quick sex before, okay? The importance of winning over a woman's heart and knowing what to do is vitally important because when you're one-to-one with her, you are going to have to do all of the small baby steps that make up for true attraction, or that make her feel safe and that make her feel properly seduced and bring maturity in the right levels that makes her feel like a genuine woman. I'm going to explain all of this because it's so important, because if you take that same guy, okay, and you remove him from one situation and put him to a different, depending on his social skills and his social calibration, he could actually fail, okay? And I know that there's specific men who actually fail first dates, okay? And what will happen is they will fail overall social interactions when it comes to being one-to-one with a woman for an extended period of time, such as a date, such as, coming back to your place after a date, things of that nature. For some men, that is a struggle when it's more of a situational setting where we are actually formally going on a date together, okay? This is important because when you look at how women operate, what they're constantly doing is they're constantly screening a guy for not only congruence, but safety, and making sure that she genuinely likes him on a man-to-woman level. So the first way, okay, that you win over a woman's heart, I have this documented because this is extremely important, okay? In order to win over a woman's heart, the first understanding you have to have of them is you have to know, understand, and demonstrate and be okay with the facts why they like mature men, okay? When I say mature men, this goes very, very deep on every single level. And when I say maturity, there's different aspects of maturity. One of the aspects of maturity that women are going to be consistently looking for in maturity is going to be overall confidence and personality congruence. So when you're with them, if you are making short-sighted jokes, okay, that are probably corny just to fill time, okay, that's going to be a big no-no where she's not going to be attracted to you. Okay, if you're doing things that's going to be demonstrating your ability or need to try to impress her, it's also going to be a big no-no and she's going to start to get turned off. Okay, not only that, when she's looking at maturity, she's going to be looking at things like, how is your life set up? What type of car do you drive? What type of things are you interested in? Because all of these make up the persona or the image or the illusion of how she views you. And how a woman views you is extremely important, okay? If you start to check off a lot of the logistical boxes, okay, of what women look for in a mature man, you have to understand at a deeper level what she's really looking for when she seeks a man who's mature and when she seeks a man who she can feel safe with, okay? This is not talked about on majority of dating channels. What women are actually looking for, what women are actually seeking on a sexual level, okay? They are wanting men who are sexually mature, okay, with past experience, because they can seduce her well and she can feel natural being seduced in his frame. See, this is something not talked about often, because the way that a mature man will carry himself versus a younger guy when it comes to the bedroom or when it comes to even being one-to-one with a woman is there's a certain level of experience and there's a certain level of confidence and conviction that comes when you're sitting there one-to-one with a girl. So what will happen is women naturally, this is without even going on a date, women naturally, when they're at home or when they're by themselves or when they're watching movies, they have this image playing because they know on a deep biological level, or they know on a deep God-given man-to-woman level, how sex and how love and how seduction and how her entering a man's frame is supposed to feel. And it's supposed to feel effortless. It's supposed to make her feel very safe. And it's supposed to have a level of seriousness to it where the man not only has been there, done that before, but she can tell on a deep level that he's been there, done that before, and she's okay with that. Okay, you have to understand this, because if you don't understand this one key concept, it's going to be very, very hard to win over a woman's heart. Okay? What I mean by this is she has this image consistently in her head of what this is like and what this is supposed to feel like. Okay? And when you're able to bring that, here's what happens. When you have experience as a sexually mature man, you start to stack all of the small physical, subconscious, and psychological nuances that comes in your game and in your dating life when you meet a woman one-to-one. That means the way you look at her, the way you carry the cadence of your speech, when you touch her, how you make her feel, how you escalate smoothly, okay? Maybe even a dominant look that you're giving in your eyes during certain interactions as you're leading her through the entire experience that could potentially lead up to sex. That is what she's looking for. And you're going to notice when you do this properly, she's pretty much 100% like engulfed or engaged in you in almost like a trance through the entire time. The way she's staring at you, the way she's looking at you, it's like she's following your lead and almost obeying step by step subconsciously and being sucked into your frame to such a level where it's like she willingly lets go, loses control of the interaction to some degree, and says, "You're selected, I want you, you lead me through this." And wherever it goes, you start to dictate that experience. The reason why women like mature men, it is not just for the resources, it is not just for the stability, it is not just for potential finances and that he's established in his career. What it is it's sexual charisma and it's sexual maturity that is extremely hard for women to find because most men are cowards to admit that they are a masculine man and okay with their own seduction and their own sex appeal. And I understand that that's wordy, but for those of you who have stuck with me on this channel, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. So because of that, I have a follow-up point to this, okay? You can have all the looks in the world, you can have all of the money, you can have all of the status, you can be great and established in your career. I know multiple guys who are even 9-to-5 guys or managers or CEOs, and some of these guys make $250,000, $500K, $1 million a year. If you can't make her feel like a woman, when she is one-to-one with you in your frame, she oftentimes does not want you. And even if she does agree to be in a relationship with you, even if she does agree to pair with you, even if she does agree to be your exclusive girlfriend or even one-day wife, if you do not have the sexual maturity and the sexual confidence to fully be congruent and being okay with a masculine man centered in your frame and leading her through those man-to-woman experiences, making commands, okay, doing it the right way where she's okay with it and she feels safe consensually and loves it, you're going to struggle because in the back of her mind, she is constantly thinking, what if? What if I found a guy who knew how to make me feel like a woman? What if I found a guy who knew how to seduce me properly? What if I found a guy who actually knew the right way to look at me, speak to me, touch me, fuck me well? What if I could find this guy to where when I was with him, it's like I was 100% his on every level? That is what's going to be going through her brain. You have to know how to make her feel like a woman. And now, when you make her feel like a woman on all levels, meaning you check the boxes not only logistically, you're not only mature with your personality and with your confidence, you're not only a serious man in times when you clearly need to be and you're okay with holding frame in those circumstances, but when you bring that sexual charisma and that sexual confidence not only into the bedroom, but one-to-one with a woman, which is a learned skill, and it looks effortless on your end as if you've been there, done that before, that right there on every level is how you start to win over a woman's heart. And this is something that not a lot of men practice. This is something that not a lot of men take interest in. And this is something that not a lot of men even realize it's so important. Here's what you have to understand why this is so important too. If you're a man who understands this and can execute on this, this right here is exactly how you win over the hearts of women, even against guys who are better looking, even against guys who are taller than you. Okay, there's numerous men who I know have been with a woman, they've lost her. I've been maybe even shorter than them, or at the time, maybe I didn't have as big of a social circle as them. But because one-to-one, when I'm speaking with her, if there's seduction and there's chemistry and I can genuinely make her feel like a woman, I've won that girl over numerous times. And because this is a learned skill, this is something that you have to practice. And what comes down to it is realizing and understanding the effect of having a fluid personality and a non-fixed identity. See, what happens with men is they go through these stages in life where they think that their identity is fixed. This can be the biggest fuck up of your entire life. If you think that you are a certain way, like if you identify with any sort of I am statement, like I am shy, or I am not comfortable in the bedroom. Like, I don't even like saying it, because the more you say this shit, the more it becomes you. Or I am nervous to talk to girls. If you identify with any of these things, you're going to really sell yourself short, because when you put real life, and what you got to remember too is these identities that people have of themselves, it comes from past friends holding judgment over you. It comes from past family holding judgment over you. It comes from the media you've listened to. It comes from the music you've listened to. It comes from the people you've idolized when you shouldn't have. You start to create a fixed identity of yourself, and it strips you from that masculine capability that every man has to become fearless. You see, this is so deep. So when you identify your identity and who you are, or your personality traits, as fluid, you can adapt and be who you need to be and who you want to be in circumstances that demonstrate boldness and fearlessness to go after and get what you want. So when you identify with these statements like I am good with women, or I am a confident man, or I don't need to be corny when I'm in a social group, or I have enough confidence to be in a social group and be silent even for a few minutes because I'm convicted in myself and I'm okay with that. All of these things signal high value to a woman. So this is how you win over a woman's heart. You win over a woman's heart by making her feel the right way, by fully giving her a feminine experience and letting her be in that feminine, because you know how to lead her on all levels through a true masculine to feminine dynamic, not only logistically checking off the boxes of provisioning, status, security, but when you couple that, okay, with sexual confidence and sexual charisma, and she feels well led through an experience, that right there is going to win her over on every level, where you become the guy that she cannot replace. And the second you become the guy that she cannot replace, she'll fight for your attention, she's going to fight for your time, and you're going to be very, very, very much rewarded in the bedroom by this specific woman. Now, what you have to understand, this is a big point to this, do not use this for evil. Use this to build amazing, long-lasting relationships and chemistry with women. And if you can do that, you're going to look like a total stud, not only to her, but to yourself at night. You'll sleep well at night knowing that you're doing this for the betterment of both of you, and not just to be a sneaky fucker who's trying to manipulate women just to have sex with them. And then, like, that's weird. Like, you're a human too, they're a human too. It's okay to understand and experience that. Now, the reason why I do this is because of guys like Ty. Okay, so a couple days ago, I showed you when this guy stepped into MBT, which is my closed inner circle mentorship, and MBT stands for Masculine Behavioral Techniques. You'll see these specific techniques in the link below. Not only did he lose his V card just 3 weeks into using what I've shown him, but now he gets text messages like this. So look at what this girl says to him. She goes, "Oof, I'm keen to be punished again, daddy." Like, calling him daddy, clearly wanting a dominant experience in the bedroom from him. She's very attracted to him. He goes, "How the actual heck do I now focus day to day with text messages like these?" And this is why I do this. Because since I've mastered this one trait in my own life, I was able to share this and spread this with thousands of men. And I can't tell you the amount of joy that I know that these guys have laying in bed every single night, knowing that A, you don't have to be alone because you can generate options for yourself. B, you feel good about yourself at night because you've proven to yourself that not only are you worthy to get a specific girl or to get the girl, but you've shown yourself prior success of being a successful risk taker. When you've done things that were edgy, when you've done things that have potentially could have went a different way, you've shown yourself you're successful under pressure and can get the girl. And not only that, majority of men today are single, sexless, and lonely. So when you know how to separate yourself from the 99%, that is why I made this webinar. It's to help guys like you if you have struggled with women in the past, because when you adapt these processes, you will win. And since I've shared this with thousands of men over the years since 2019, I want you to go down below. I want you to register for my webinar. Okay, it's going to be an MBT webinar. I show you step by step the 3 keys of MBT that you can master, that you can take right from that presentation and copy paste into your dating life. And that way you can go and get results. Be sure to do that. Hit the like button, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.